Over the years, I've learned how to just let awkwardness sort of settle in. I'm the queen of just avoiding anything social. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't understand this family. Speak no evil. Can't talk about this movie without spoiling the ending, because if I just talk about it without spoilers, it's just going to be the trailer. Because the trailer already kind of gave most of everything away except the actual end. This is a movie that seemingly is a warning for people pleasers. The premise of this movie is basically this family of three, Ben, Luis, and their daughter Agnes. They're on vacation in Italy and they meet this other family, Patty, his wife Sierra, and their son Ant. They get along, but I feel like it's mainly because Patty is such a charmer. I personally wouldn't want to be around people like Patty, but I guess Ben is enjoying it. They're kind of friends. They're not even that close. They're just engaging in small talk. I don't like small talk. So I'm just like, I don't know why you guys are so close that eventually Patty's like, after this vacation is over, y'all should come and visit us. Patty's family lives in some remote farm in England. Ben's family, they're actually from the US, but they moved to England recently because he had like some sort of job opportunity or something after the vacation. Ben finds out that he didn't get the job. He's at a very low point in his life. His relationship with his wife, Louise, is actually not doing that well. We slowly find out because Louise had to give up her job in the US to move to England. Ben lost his job opportunity or whatever. I don't even know. He had like some business venture or something. I don't know, but there was bad news. And you're just like, okay, it's weird that you would kind of relocate your entire family before making sure everything was settled, but I guess they just did that. Okay, I'm not going to try to judge him on this. They were like, oh, remember the family that we met on vacation in Italy? Maybe we should go pay them a visit, kind of chill out, relax, forget about our normal lives, all the problems. I'm like, okay, first of all, he didn't even have a solid job lined up. He moved his whole family to England and then they straight up go to vacation in Italy. Okay, you're kind of being a little reckless here. It's like, oh, you got a daughter, but whatever. I'm not gonna judge him. But I'm gonna get to the point where he is the worst character in this movie. I know there were a lot of things a lot of other characters did in this that was like frustratingly annoying. Like, why would you do that? But overall, Ben, he carried most of that load. Why would you just go and visit a family you barely know in their private farm home? Whatever, that's the whole point of this movie. It's supposed to be psychological thriller. It's gonna get scary. It's gonna be creepy. It's gonna be like an uncomfortable scenario. They go to this strange family's house. And Louise didn't even want to go. It was pretty obvious that she was only doing it because she felt bad for Ben. And also, we later find out that she was kind of cheating on him. It was light cheating. I don't even know the details of the cheating, but he apparently forgave her. But their marriage has been on rocky terms. They've kind of not been that intimate. So they go and they drive their Tesla. Why would you drive your Tesla into the middle of the nowhere English countryside? Are there even any charging places? Tesla's windows are apparently bulletproof. I didn't know that. They're not, are they? And I haven't mentioned the daughter at this point yet, but the daughter, the only thing you need to know is she is very attached to this stuffed animal bunny, which she names Hoppy. She's attached to this stuffed animal, and every time she doesn't have it, she gets really anxious and she starts scratching herself. Patty's family, they're all excited. Ooh, hi, you guys are here. So nice of you to come. Also, their son, Ant, is apparently... They say Ant has like an underdeveloped tongue, so he can't speak, but something is off. There are so many instances where Patty is just coming off really pushy. He does not take no for an answer. We all know what happens when someone cannot take no for an answer. We do not engage with people who cannot take no for an answer. But this family decides to engage with Patty, so he's taking advantage of this. He's fully taking advantage of how spineless Ben is. Ben is like the biggest pushover I've ever seen. And he's just, every time, he's so easily convinced. And I'm just like, how? How did you convince your wife to give up her job and move to England with you? It's just not adding up to me. I don't know how someone like Ben would even want to go to a stranger's house in the middle of nowhere. His characterization seems a bit contradicting. It's almost like he chose Patty over his wife, because every time Patty's making them do something, when he can tell his wife is clearly uncomfortable, he still kind of pushes her to go along with it just because, oh, we don't want to be rude. They're being very nice inviting us over. We can't make a fuss out of every little thing. Obviously, from the trailer and from everything that's happening, we already know Patty and his family are not exactly the loving the lovely little English family that live in the countryside. The big spoiler is eventually Ant steals Patty's keys and then he kind of doesn't lure. He takes Agnes down to like some sort of cellar in which they have a bunch of suitcases and belongings of past families that they've abducted, gotten rid of, and stole their kids. And we also find out is not their real son. Now that they know, now that Ben, Louise, and Agnes know, they're trying to escape. They already had tried to escape before this. There was one night where Louise woke up. She finds Agnes is not in her little makeshift bed on the floor in the attic. And she goes into Patty and Sierra's room and she sees Agnes and Ant both sleeping with them while they're kind of like half naked. And then she freaks out. And so early morning, she just tells Ben, hey, we gotta go. They're on their way to safety. They're driving their Tesla. Halfway down the road, Agnes is like, oh my God, where's Hoppy? I had a hard time deciding whether Ben was more annoying or whether Agnes and her relationship with Hoppy was more annoying. They do go back to get Hoppy, but obviously by that point, Patty and Sierra have already woken up. Ben is like still trying to be polite at this point, whereas Louise is like, I found our daughter in bed with you guys last night. But obviously Patty and Sierra, they have this whole sob story about how Sierra had a miscarriage. Agnes's cries at night ignited her motherly love. Even so, that doesn't make sense to sleep with another person's daughter. At least put on some clothes. But anyway, they make the situation very uncomfortable and awkward, and then they have to stay again. Really? You could have just still left. They could have come up with so many different excuses. I don't even know why. Just say something came up back in London or whatever. You have to go back. I forgot about this thing we needed to take care of or something. I don't know. There were so many excuses. They just did it. They were just like, oh no, this is awkward. Okay, let's be polite. And after they know the truth, they're like, oh my God, okay, now we actually have to go because our lives are in danger. They want to save Ant too because they now know the truth. Ben was going to make Ant like open the gate so they could drive out, but then, oh, Patty has a remote so Ant doesn't have to go. The gate is opening, they're driving, and right before they're able to get through the gate, they see Patty throw Ant into the pond, okay? And we all know Ant can't swim. Ben stops the car, he jumps into the pond to save Ant. And I'm like, that was the bravest thing he did this whole movie. At the same time, y'all could have escaped. They all get captured. There's a lot of things going on in this little end sequence. I honestly thought the whole family would die in this movie because it seemed like one of those movies where, you know, the family, nobody survives. But I don't know, this movie actually has a decently happy ending in which Louise, Superwoman, comes in clutch in so many situations, saves the family. Every moment Ben was trying to be heroic, it was a dumb decision. They're all about to escape, but then Patty gets Agnes. I don't even know why they would tell Agnes to go to the car first. I'm just like, really? Y'all should just stick together. See, this is the part where it's like scary movie because everyone splits up for no reason. I don't even know how she had the needle, but yeah, stabs it into freaking Patty and then he's kind of knocked out. And then Ben has a gun, but he doesn't shoot Patty because, I don't know. He's like, I'm better than you. I don't need to do this. But then Ant eventually comes and takes a rock and smashes Patty to death. That was like some sort of cyclical moment because Patty earlier in the movie was like, the reason we're messed up is because our parents did that to us. And then their parents did that to them. And it's just an endless cycle. And this was apparently full circle because Ant is also twisted now because of Patty. I couldn't really relate to this movie, and I don't even know why they were so afraid to offend Patty and his family. Why do you even care about being so polite that you're in so many uncomfortable situations? You can also decide to never see them again. You guys can just pretend like they don't exist